You're on.
Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey. Let's chat some rumors around the Cowboys today, beginning with if Jabril Cox could be a surprise impact rookie. Floated out there by Bleacher Report. I'm going to give it 2 stars because I think anything more would mean he's not a surprise. Anything less means it's probably not going to happen. I think it is possible that Jabril Cox, the 4th-round rookie out of LSU, does surprise and makes a significant impact for the Cowboys. The reason why I do like this idea is that Jabril Cox offers the coverage ability that several of the other Dallas Cowboys linebackers simply do not have. Whether it was his time at North Dakota State, his time at LSU, Cox has shown the ability to be a good coverage player. And the Cowboys have 5 linebackers who could even get starts throughout this season here. So the reason why I'm not 100% sold here and why I think a surprise tag and label works is that how often is he going to get out there on the field? I'm not sure. We'll break it down more in depth here in a second. Now, I think the big reason why Jabril Cox fell to round 4 is he's not a great run support player. And he did have 6.5 tackles for loss, 58 tackles last year for LSU. His run game, his run fits, it's not great. And part of that comes from the role he's played at North Dakota State and LSU, where he's kind of in that overlap, overhang role where he's kind of a nickel corner, kind of a linebacker. You can call him a safety if you want, but he's a linebacker, as we'll get to. But I like that type of player. I'm a sucker for those guys because Jabril Cox is good in coverage. He can carry tight ends down the seam. He can cover running backs in the flat. He reads things pretty well. He can do some soft zones for you. All those coverage things make him valuable to me. The 3 interceptions, the 5 pass breakups. When he was targeted, Cox fared pretty well. Now, he's not like as good of coverage as like a pure safety or a corner, but for a linebacker in the modern-day NFL, he absolutely fits that mold, and that matters to me in the modern-day NFL.
Onto the depth chart.
Now, part of the reason why I'm not sold on this is, are the Cowboys going to let Cox play out there a bunch in coverage? Jalen Smith's on this team, Micah Parsons, Leighton Vander Esch, Keanu Neal, Jabril Cox. I think in reality, as we sit right now, Cox is probably 5th on this if you just want to rank all the linebackers overall. I don't think he's going to play that much on 1st and 2nd down. I would like to see him out there in passing downs, though. However, I wonder if in year 1, the Jabril Cox coverage linebacker specialty role will be devoted a little bit more to Keanu Neal, if that role is going to be a bit of similar for both those guys. Remember, Neal, a former safety, is at least publicly the Cowboys are saying, set to play more of a linebacker role for Dan Quinn's defense, which again, I like that. In 2021, I'm trying to take those bigger, stronger linebackers or safeties and put them at linebacker, not the other way around. Now, I've seen some of this out there on Cowboys social media and YouTube, and I want to make things very clear. Jabril Cox is a linebacker. He's not a safety, okay? I know that the role he played at LSU and North Dakota State, I think at the college level, we can have a great discussion on this at some point more in depth. But that overhang linebacker role who lines up in the slot, who can blitz off the edge, that rover role, if you want to call it, that blurs the lines between box safety and off-ball linebacker. Frankly, especially at the college level, it's not that much of a difference. But Jabril Cox, as much as I want a safety, doesn't fill that role. All right? He's not a free safety. You're not going to play him back there. You're going to put him in the box. That's a linebacker role in today's NFL. So, look, if you want to make Donovan Wilson a free safety, okay. I want him at strong safety, though. If you're going to put any of those linebackers at safety, you put Keanu Neal there way before you put Jabril Cox there. He's a linebacker, not a safety. I want coverage guys at that position. That's why I like Jabril Cox so much. So what I want you guys to do right now in the comments section is rank Jabril Cox amongst the Cowboys linebackers. Jalen Smith, LVE, Keanu Neal, Micah Parsons, Jabril Cox, Gifford, and Bernard if you want to. 1 to whatever. Where does Cox rank? Is it 4, 5, 3? Get your votes in right now for me in the comments section. Let's chat trade now. How about the Cowboys making a move for a backup quarterback? I like the idea. I really do. For a couple names in particular. I'm going to give it 2 stars, though, and it's probably closer to 1.5 or even outright 1 than it truly is the 2 here. But it was mentioned in a mailbag on the Cowboys team website, and I like the idea. I really do. The Cowboys' backup quarterback room is not good. It's Dak Prescott and, a bunch of guys that, if we're being honest, you really don't want playing out there. And I do think there are at least a couple guys, in terms of veterans, who are at least worth considering adding in a trade. But there's one big problem here. I don't think the Cowboys want to spend big, and by big I mean like more than $3 or $4 million at most, on the position after paying Dak Prescott so much money as they should have this year. So where things sit right now, it's obviously Dak at QB1. He should be good to go week 1 and well before it, frankly. Garrett, Gilbert, quarterback 2. Ben DiNucci, Cooper Rush. It's not pretty. So I did put together 5 names that I think are worth discussing here. There's Nick Foles, who's expensive, but I think would be one of the best guys on this list. There's Gardner Minshew. That's the one that I'm really intrigued by. I don't know how much he would cost via a draft pick, but the cost in general is the problem here. Will Grier, Trevor Siemian, Josh Rosen are all cheap, but that means those teams won't give them away for nothing. Nick Foles, not so cheap, also pretty bad if we're being honest last year, but the Bears would love to trade him away. I mentioned Josh Rosen. I think the answer is no on him, but I know you guys were going to ask about him, so I threw him in there. Will Grier, I don't think is that good. Trevor Siemian, not that good either. So for me, the one guy that makes sense is kind of Gardner Minshew if the Jags were to move him away. But what would you guys do here? Should the Cowboys trade for a backup quarterback? Do you want to move on from Garrett Gilbert? Get your votes in for me. Type 1 for yes, or you can type in 0 for no. Now, I think Garrett Gilbert can be a decent stopgap option for you. If it's like 2 or 3 games, maybe you can win one of them and then get your quarterback healthy again. He's not great, but honestly, I think he's as good, if not better, than likes of Will Grier, Trevor Siemian. If I'm being honest, as a Josh Rosen truther, probably Josh Rosen as well. Now, I think quarterback 3 is a different conversation because Ben DiNucci, the Nooch was not good last year. There's no way around it from that perspective. So, again, I would like to explore it. Maybe closer to roster cut time, you find a player or 2, but the backup quarterback market, especially with the guys that have signed already, is not particularly good right now. Now, you guys can bet on all things football and NBA and MLB and all the stuff. All of the sports can be bet on BetUS. So head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code Cowboys125 to get yourself a 125% deposit bonus. There, of course, are the upcoming tonight, Tuesday night, NBA play-in tournament games. Pacers and Hornets. I'll go Charlotte with the upset there. Celtics and Wizards. Oh, God, no Jason Brown. Give me Boston anyway. Grizzlies, Spurs, Lakers, Warriors on Wednesday. Go bet on these games. You can make some money, and with the deposit bonus of 125%, even if you lose some bets, you got plenty of money left over. It's chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code right there, bottom of your screen, Cowboys125. Let's talk about a guy that many of you ask about, but we don't often get to talk about. Isaac Alarcon at guard. 3 stars on this one. Now, I don't know if he's going to be a full-time guard in camp, but he is getting reps there. So that's why I gave it the 3 stars there, mentioned by Mike McCarthy from that perspective here. Many of you guys have asked about him like, hey, what's he going to do? Is he any good? The answer is I don't know. Because Alarcon, who spent all of last year as the extra practice squad player in 2020 via the NFL's International Player Pathway Program, he didn't get that many reps. He didn't get that much opportunity because, well, he was a free guy. You're going to stash him there anyway. Now, Mike McCarthy was at least somewhat positive in his praise of the young offensive lineman. Now, he also mentioned that he needs work as a pass blocker, but here's what McCarthy had to say. Quote, he's definitely improving. I like the way he looked when he stepped inside. Isaac is here every day. I don't think there's been a workout or time going into the weight room that I haven't seen him. He's very diligent. You just love his attitude. He's definitely made a lot of improvements since last year. Now, on our offensive line depth chart, I've listed Alarcon at guard for a while now, mostly due to the fact that I had too many tackles. Inseki, Steele, Collins, Smith, Ball, Knight, Mitch Hyatt, even Eric Smith. Those are all actually tackles. So I like the idea of giving Alarcon some run at guard. Now, I think with the way this roster is built, I think the answer to this next question is no. I don't think Isaac Alarcon will make the 53-man roster. He could be a practice squad guy, though. This camp, this offseason, and this preseason is essential for him sticking around beyond just the 90-man roster. But make your predictions. Type Y for yes or type in N for no. Speaking of the roster, we will have a Cowboys roster projection coming very, very soon. The way too early version, if you will. So if you want that video, make sure you're subscribed and your notifications are set to all. That way you won't miss out. Hit that big red button and join us here at the Dallas Cowboys Report. Some kind of news on this one, so we won't spend too much time on it. But 4 stars here. The Cowboys are not planning on signing any of their tryout guys, headlined in the end by JT Barrett. The Cowboys had to bring in 2 quarterbacks for a workout, or for tryouts during the rookie minicamp because they had no eligible quarterbacks. It was JT Barrett and Brady Davis, and in the end, neither guy impressed all that much by any stretch there. I will make note the other 2 players that they worked out, Rashad Robinson, not Rashard. There is another R. Robinson the Cowboys brought in beyond Rashard and Reggie. There was Rashad out of James Madison from 2020, and also Andrew Jones, also not the baseball guy. So a couple confusing names there, but the Cowboys, it appear, will pass on all 4 of these guys for their 90-man roster right now.